We talked about Coinbase, the big exchange, rolling out its own blockchain, a layer 2 network called Base. Now, there already is a Base token out in the market, and some clever or not clever, enterprising or unsuspecting, it's hard to say, traders seized upon this opportunity to increase the price of the pre-existing Base token that is completely unrelated to Base, which is the name of the layer 2 that Coinbase is launching, and which, by the way, doesn't have a token, at least for now. So this is a story about markets acting irrationally, rationally, opportunistically, stupidly, I don't know. But you see this stuff happen where random tokens pump on sort of adjacent but not actually related news. Let's discuss that phenomenon and more. Let's toss it to Adam for this one.
Yeah, I mean, it's the adjacency concept, right? It's like, well, I can't bet on this thing, but I'll bet on something that sounds similar to it. And considering that nobody actually cares about what the thing is that you're trading anyways in modern markets, it's as good a strategy as any. I mean, the simultaneously most amazing and also most irritating way that people get rich in crypto is by doing the dumbest possible things as far as these just like speculative manias, and then it works for them, right? And it doesn't work at the end of the cycle, but you get this period of time in bull runs where it's like you've got a good 12 to 18 months where you can do some really dumb things from a trading perspective that pay off really, really well. And it just messes up the incentives all kinds. So this is again, like this is a classic story of this. Nothing to do with anything except that, hey, there's some association. And if you can get there, via less than 3 jumps, then it means that the token's going to pump. So what do you think, Jen?
This is so crazy. And I'm so happy that we're not in a bull cycle where there are, retail investors who've just gotten into crypto, who are FOMOing into things, not realizing that they aren't other things. I'm sure maybe there are some of those people still around, but during the bull market, we saw a lot more of that. We heard a lot of really sad stories in some of the mainstream media. I can't even try to understand traders, let alone crypto traders. It makes absolutely no sense to me. When I read this story, I thought back to when Squid Games became super popular and all those Squid Game tokens were being spun up and traders were just doing crazy, crazy things. Aside from this story, though, the actual Base that has no token, I must note, was off to kind of a rocky start yesterday. So we spoke about that launch yesterday on the show. Zach introduced it to us, and there was kind of like a Twitter frenzy. I like to focus on the comms aspect of everything, and I thought it was like really interesting that as all of this was going on, they were changing their messaging on their website. And so here is my I guess the warning message I give at least once a week to all comms and marketing people: why do we rush to meet deadlines if we're going to be changing things on the fly and get all of this negative press? And so here's another example of why people should slow down. We can launch our products and we don't have to say everything all at once. Zach?
Hey man, deadlines, they make the world go round. No, there's always going to be something. There's always going to be something. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think people can look at this and be like, oh man, people are so dumb. They bought the wrong token, whatever. I mean, there's a lot to be said for that mania kicking in, sort of the opportunistic impulse that you can do things in these markets in a way that maybe are less possible in real markets. That's not to say that people don't always, buy. That's not to say that people don't sometimes buy the wrong thing in traditional markets when it comes to equities. You put in the wrong ticker, you think you get one thing, you're getting the other thing. Whoops, it happened. But here I think you do see some of this speculative energy attach itself to maybe some misguided trading, or the expectation of misguided trading, given that it's adjacent to this thing. We see this with thematic bets too, right? Remember when AI tokens were popping off a few weeks ago? And before that, metaverse tokens were popping off when Facebook made a decision. Sometimes these markets are kind of silly, and you see headlines such as this. Jen?
What is the Base token? Do we know? Should we just give them a little shout? What is this protocol?
Not affiliated with Coinbase.
That's okay. Yeah, that's what we know.
That's it. It's its own thing. It's been out there, and hey, they won the naming lottery at least in this day, in today's episode of Crypto Shenanigans.